Turkey's big announcement. In Ankara, the Turkish parliament gathered for an unusual high-level session. President Recep Tayyip Erdogan stepped forward and delivered a message that stunned global powers. Erdogan declared, "Turkey is entering a new phase of defense, economic strategy, and regional policy." But the real shock came when he said, if the oppression in Palestine does not stop, Turkey will fulfill its responsibility, no matter the price. These were not just political words. This was a warning, a stance, and the outline of a possible action plan. Turkey then officially announced strategic defense cooperation with Palestine, a new diplomatic bloc in the Middle East, legal action against Israel in international courts, and a potential increase in military presence across the region. This moment created a heavy, uncomfortable silence inside Israel. Chapter 2. Israel's silent panic. Normally, Israel responds instantly. But this time, it didn't. And analysts say it is this silence that reveals Israel's deepest fear. Why? Because Turkey is not an ordinary nation. It is NATO's second-largest military power, a country of over 85 million people, a leader in drone technology, a major naval force in the Mediterranean, and a diplomatic heavyweight capable of shifting alliances. For Israel, Turkey's announcement is alarming because 1. Turkey has openly expressed willingness to support Palestine. 2. The United States cannot completely control or silence Turkey. 3. New pressure points may open up around Israel, Lebanon in the north, Gaza in the south, and now Turkey from the west. 4. Israel is already diplomatically isolated, and Turkey's stance deepens that isolation. Chapter 3. A complicated history. It wasn't always like this. Not long ago, Turkey and Israel maintained diplomatic ties, trade relations, intelligence cooperation. But repeated attacks on Gaza changed everything. President Erdogan's criticism grew sharper, calling Israel oppressor, killer state, a nation committing crimes against humanity. But this time, it goes beyond speeches. This time, Turkey appears ready with an actual strategy. Chapter 4. Turkey's new strategic plan. According to experts, Turkey's new approach is built on 3 powerful pillars. 1. A new Middle East defense alignment. A rising informal coalition appears to be taking shape, including Turkey, Qatar, Malaysia, Pakistan, and several Arab nations. Not a formal NATO-style alliance, but strong enough to matter. Its components include joint military exercises, intelligence sharing, exchange of defense technologies. This alone could shift the region's balance of power. 2. Legal action against Israel. Turkey has announced it will present evidence of Israeli war crimes to the International Court of Justice and the International Criminal Court. This is a serious diplomatic blow for Israel. Because Turkey has strong legal experts, it understands international law deeply, and it holds documented Palestinian testimonies. A legal war can reshape the global narrative against Israel. 3. Expanding naval power in the Mediterranean. Turkey will now increase its naval presence in the eastern Mediterranean. For Israel, this is dangerous because its gas supply routes run through these waters. Turkey has a modern, powerful navy, and the region is already filled with disputes. More Turkish ships means more pressure on Israel's economy. Chapter 5. What Israel fears most. Israeli think tanks warn of 3 major threats. 1. Growing diplomatic isolation. Countries like South Africa, several in Latin America, Turkey, and even some European groups are raising their voices against Israel. Turkey strengthens this global coalition. 2. Palestinian resistance growing stronger. Turkey's stance may boost confidence among resistance groups, especially if Turkish drone technology, intelligence, or diplomatic support reaches Palestine in the future. 3. Pressure rising inside Israel. Israeli citizens are already frustrated due to prolonged conflict and economic instability. Now, people are asking, can our government really confront these rising regional powers? Chapter 6. Global Reactions. The United States. Silent yet concerned. It cannot afford to lose Turkey, but cannot abandon Israel. The European Union. Neutral on the surface, but internally divided. Several EU states privately support Turkey's stance. Russia. Welcomes the tension. It benefits from any distance between Turkey and the West. China. Watches carefully, aiming for a bigger role in Middle East diplomacy. Chapter 7. What comes next? If Turkey fully acts on its plan, Israel may face strong international pressure. The Palestinian issue will return to global focus. A new balance of power may emerge in the Middle East. Turkey's influence in the Arab world will grow, and Israel may be forced to rethink its policies. These possibilities explain Israel's silent fear. Conclusion. A new Middle East. Turkey's announcement is more than a political gesture. It marks the beginning of a new geopolitical era, an era in which Palestine's voice grows stronger, Israel faces new realities, and Turkey reclaims its role as a regional leader. The world is changing, and so is the balance of power in the Middle East.